It's Captain Hadley. Say
Yeah,
hi.
I'm captain. Trying not to bang into anything. No promises.
Previously on Sailing Balachandra, we took you on a boat tour of our 1986 C&C 44 sailboat. What are you doing?
Driving.
Hadley's really good at driving the boat. What's this?
Chart plotter.
Yeah? Is it actually a chart plotter?
Also chart.
Tablet.
Tablet. It's a tablet.
With navionics. Awesome.
Stop.
Yeah. There's our friend. She did quite a wide tack. And that is George's Island. So I just was thinking that maybe Hadley and I would take a minute and talk to you guys about how we ended up doing this. Where we come from, who we are, how we got into sailing, and how we ended up getting this boat. For me, it started really early in my life. I've always been attracted to the sea. I grew up near the ocean, and I certainly had an attraction to sailboats. I ended up dating a girl whose family owned a sailboat, and they were able to take me out a few times and show me some of the basics of sailing, and I was hooked. At some point I discovered a magazine called Latitudes and Attitudes, or Lats and Ats magazine, and all through my 20s I would read this magazine, every single issue. There would be people cruising all over the world, and they would write a column that you could keep up with their adventures and what they were doing and how they were able to live aboard their boat and to provision, and you know, if they're entering a zone with piracy and things like that, and the things that they had to bring with them, and the things that were important to them in that lifestyle. And it was so informative and so inspiring to want to do this, and it became something that I began to obsess about. I said, one day I'm going to own a sailboat, one day I'm going to be one of these people. And this is way before video blogs and vlogs and all of them. I've followed every kind of sailing channel that's been around since the very beginning. Drake Paragon, Delos, La Vagabond, Sean and Julia Sailing, MJ Sailing, Sailing Nervous, about every sailing channel. I began to read other books and really make plans to buy a boat, started to save money. It was something that was going to be a long-term thing. I thought when I retire or when I'm older and the money's there, I can maybe buy a boat and then I can start. But I bought my very first boat in 2016. It was, I think I paid less than $2,000 Canadian. It was an old 1970s O'Day 20-foot day sailor. And I recommend that if you're getting into sailing and that's going to be your passion, definitely start with something you can handle. Don't go out and buy a 40-foot yacht as your very first boat. Personally, I felt that I needed to have at least one stepping stone to get to a boat this size, which I'm still like getting comfortable with. However, having that experience, make your mistakes on a smaller, cheaper boat that you don't want to damage. The best part of that whole experience was that I had bought it from someone who was also a sailing instructor, and they were kind enough to offer me free sailing lessons. And if you can find some kind of arrangement like that, that you can get some guidance or mentoring, or jump on any opportunity like that that you can find. And I wanted to build up my chops. I wanted to get out there and get some experience, and racing was a great way to do that. It was one of my dreams since I was a kid, and I really wanted to follow that dream, and I had this opportunity to do so. So I started looking at boats. I've been looking for boats since probably Christmas of 2016-17, and had already looked at several boats, and by the time I met Hadley, I had it pretty much narrowed down to 1 to 2 boats. The decision was made and we were ready to go to St. John and take a look at this boat. Hadley came along, and that's when we started making videos.
Yeah, I did.
She met this crazy guy who was like, hey, I'm going to live on a boat and you should come along and do that with me.
And I was like, sure. You're walking down the street and he was like that girl, and he like got his lasso out.
And Hadley was really awesome to jump in and come out racing with me on Thursday nights, and we did that for the entire summer. And you got seriously injured.
I did get seriously injured. I have a scar to prove it.
The Traveler on the race boat is really exposed, and Hadley just like came and made serious contact with the Traveler, and she was bleeding pretty profusely.
But we won.
We did win.
But we won.
What is the boat called on Peter Pan?
I don't know.
That's worth finding out. If you know the name of the boat from Peter Pan, please write it in the comments below.
Because we're lost in life.
Because we don't know how to use the internets. Next time on Sailing Balachandra, as part of winter prep, we take a look at our S-bar furnace, recommission it, and get it back into service. And you get a step-by-step guide on how to do it. It's a dream fulfilled.
Dreams really do come true.
Oh God. I can be Captain Hook. Does that make you smee?
Oh my God.
Oh, Captain.